Hi folks, Mike Lambo here. Just thought I'd do a quick look at my latest game, which is the Race to Bastogne. So there's the cover, same style, same size as all my previous book games other than Fields of Normandy, which was slightly smaller, which is the first one I did. Apart from that, same. So inside cover, contents page as ever. There's 12 missions here in total to have a go at. So then the rules nicely set out as ever, nice and clear, lots of colour in there. Examples, highlighted some of the important stuff in red, make it easier to find. Example of play there. So just detailing some of the finer points and so on. So this is, as you'd expect, I'm not going to highlight too much of the rules there, but as you'd expect, this is obviously part of the Battle of the Bulge, and the general idea is that you're in charge of units from the US armies. It's on the back. In the Battle of the Bulge in 1944, World War II, you'll be commanding small groups of Sherman tanks, so 1 to 4 Sherman tanks generally, with some Priest mobile artillery support and Greyhound armoured car with support as well. And the idea is you're sort of racing towards Bastogne, if you like, to free up the US 101st Airborne, which were at the time surrounded by the Germans and needed some help. Okay, so there are 12 missions in this one. There's the first one here. This is called Training. This is classed as easy. So a few quality of life differences, I guess, with this latest book. First one is I've tried to improve the graphic design a little of the maps. So slightly better maps, a bit more colour on them perhaps, although ironically this one's set mainly in freezing countryside, so white snow, but I tried to get a bit more colour into it. The graphics for trees are slightly updated, better to look at, nicer to look at. Same with the buildings and so on. Made perhaps the hill hexes clearer than they have been in previous games. Put a mission on the map itself, mission number on there, so you can match the maps up if you copy them, whatever, quite easily with the rules. Turn tracker on the bottom. No, most people prefer it there rather than over on this page, so there it is. Okay, so that's what. Oh, the only thing I've done is kind of put a rating on the missions as well, so you can see this first one is easy, second one is easy, and then they go up to sort of a couple of medium missions, and then for mission 5 the maps get larger. So again, something else I've done this time is just experiment with the margins of the pages and push them to the sort of more of their limits, so we're getting more stuff on the page there, so bigger maps there. That's medium hard. Another medium hard one there, so there's a few of those. Then they get hard from sort of the halfway point, so mission 7 is a river on that one. A few more hard ones here, and then it goes very hard and extremely hard, and it finishes up there. Other thing I've done for this book for the first time is put some counters, suggested counters at the back there. Well, you can see those on the video, but that's what I've done there. And I've done that on the back page here, so that it can be removed with a pair of scissors or something. Just slice down the edge there and take that out. What I did was cut the square out, stick it on an oversized piece of card, a cereal packet, something maybe slightly thicker than that if possible, with some PVA glue, something like that. I'm sure you guys all know what to use. Nice thin layer of it so you don't soak this page. So stick those on, let them dry completely before trying to cut them out, and use a really good quality pair of scissors or craft knife or something, and you'll get those out fairly comfortably from that. I've put that on, or will put it on, have put it on, I've sent it in, it'll be approved soon, I'm sure. It'll be on Board Game Geek, and I've said that at the bottom here of the page, so if you don't want to cut your book up, which is understandable, you better print that out from the Board Game Geek website. and use that instead. Okay, there's only a bit of colour on these, so it's fine to print them in black and white and just add your own colour onto them. You see the German units are generally grey, so there's no real colour to bother with there. I put a bit of red on the mines, a bit of green on the US units, but even that's not essential because there's all the names of the counters on there. So you do that, they'll turn out looking something like this. This is what I did here, so you can see that, you know, Sherman comes. Probably, I don't know if I'm going to get that. It's probably too dark, isn't it? Here, let me try and get some light on that. There we are. Yeah, so fairly basic, but you know the infantry look a bit different to this. This is the first run, but they're different to that. In here, got to manage to get a kind of model of a guy with a Panzerschreck or Panzerfaust rather. So anyway, that's the one. In terms of mechanics, this is back to, I guess in a way, it's a kind of spiritual successor, if you like, to Fields of Normandy. Yeah, the Fields of Normandy. So my first one. It's kind of similar in the mechanics there, but obviously you're dealing with armour rather than mainly infantry as it was in there. So you're pushing, the idea is you're pushing your tanks up from these bottom hexes. The enemy units will appear randomly on these question marks as you either recon them with your Greyhound, or you land next to them with, you know, you move next to them with tanks or the priest mobile artillery or something. There's facing in this game for both US and German units, so your facing is crucial, and movement is wow, what's the best word for it? Frustrating, shall I say? This is, you know, these conditions were freezing. There was snow. There was short fuel. You know, supply lines were difficult. All kinds of stuff. Plus all the usual, you know, war zone confusion and so on. So I've tried to reflect that in this game. So it is, you know, it's different. The way units move is different. The order system is slightly different over here. You can see that, you know, it's that sort of limited order or restricted order method that I've used in a few of my games, but it's different the way it works. And in particular, you can see there's lots of movement, but also lots of turning. So you have to sort of turn your units to face the right direction and then drive them forward, and then turn them again and drive them forward. So trying to sort of replicate that movement of vehicles, particularly in difficult terrain like this. So the facing of your units is important. Units can be flanked as well. The terrain plays a part. You know, see the table down here: forests and villages. The priest can fire smoke, so give cover to other units around it or itself. You get a bonus for being on the higher ground. You get a bonus for attacking the side or rear armour of units rather than the front armour. You get support bonuses for having units with you, a bit like you did in the Fields of Normandy. And the priest works in a similar way to mortars did in that game, and sort of gives you support from a distance. So, as I say, similar to the Fields of Normandy, but different. It certainly has a different flavour and different mechanics in it. But if you enjoyed that one, I'd like to think you would enjoy this one as well. I will put a playthrough on the channel as soon as I can. Thanks very much.